Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I'm outside Stamford Bridge after a 1-0 win against Everton in the Premier League. Charlie, I was in the West View. I was in the West View today, mate.
You corporate sellout.
Mate, I was in the West
No,
View.
that's shame on you.
Hey, listen. One off. Thought, why not? Give it a crack. You in MHL presumably?
Prawn sandwich for you?
No, mate. I had a 15 quid hot dog.
That sounds terrible.
It was actually a poor hot dog. I'm not gonna lie. It was called the Zigga Zagga hot dog. It was.
Yeah, I mean that sounds terrible. Yeah, I mean I don't really know what to say about that.
What about the game? What about the game itself?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. First half particularly was a lot better than we've played in the first halves of games recently. Again, disappointing we don't take more of the chances that we create, but Pickford did make a couple of good saves, especially from Noni. I thought we dug in well. I thought we defended reasonably well, and we kind of kept them at arm's length. They did look dangerous on a couple of occasions. Sanchez made some very good saves, so fair play to him on that. He was named man of the match, and do you know what? You can't really argue with it.
Was he man of the match?
He was named man of the match. Yeah, you can't really argue with it.
Do you think there's anyone else that could compete with Sanchez? Because I would argue maybe Caicedo as well. He was decent.
Caicedo was very good. Lavia was outstanding. I thought Colwell and Chalobah defended really well. Two players that have come in for quite a lot of criticism recently from a lot of the fans, putting in a good performance today. So yeah, look, there were some decent performances all round. And as I said to you last week after Fulham, this part of the season is just about getting the points on the board. That's now back-to-back wins. Maybe we're building a little bit of momentum. We've got Liverpool at home next weekend. So yeah, mate, overall, you've got to be pleased with what you've seen this afternoon.
Yeah, I think the overriding feeling over the 2025 period has been results, style of play, and now it's just get the results. Ultimately, that's the thing. But we've been saying this for weeks, and ultimately we've been disappointed a number of times. Did you expect us to win this game? And are you surprised that we won in the way that we did? Do you expect it to be more comfortable, or talk to me about sort of your predictions and then how you feel after?
Mate, I'm not surprised that we won the game. I expected us to win this game, but I expected it to be very tight. I expected it to be difficult for us. I expected it to be decided by one goal sort of either way. So the game pretty much went as I expected. You know, it's the early kick-off, can be difficult sometimes. Everton, resolute, difficult to play against. They've improved a lot under David Moyes, and you know, we're not playing the best. I mean, the home record's not bad, but you know what the atmosphere is like and stuff can be sometimes difficult for, you know, the players to kind of not get up for it, but you know what I mean, to perform in an atmosphere like that sometimes. But team selection I thought was bold. You know, he goes with Caicedo at right back. Lavia comes in for his first start. Mate, we are so much better when Lavia plays. Miles better. The guy just makes everything tick. We're so much more fluid. The way that he receives the ball on the turn, you know, he beats the press straight away. Everything he was doing was working well. And he almost felt like a massive sense of what if with him. If he'd just been able to stay fit for more of the season, things could have maybe been different. We're so much better when he plays. And ultimately, mate, that's our best setup. You know, with the way that we play with the inverting fullback into midfield, Caicedo's best for that role.
Do you think that should just be his role week in, week out?
I'm not saying every single week for the season, but if we're going to play like that, he's best suited for that role. That's the reality. And like, I'm not saying that Reece James can't start there, because he can, but if you ask me who do I want to start there, who do I want to start there on a weekly basis, I'd rather Caicedo start in that inverted right back role, because it simply suits him way better. And if you're going to play that system and you're going to do that, then you want the best players in it. And unfortunately for Reece James, nothing to do with his quality as a player, but for that role, Caicedo's miles better than him.
Is there any part of that role that you think James is an upgrade? Because I'm looking at the defensive attributes, being able to cover different parts of the pitch, agility, passing range.
Maybe passing range, and maybe sort of, you know, quality on the ball. You might say Reece James has got maybe a little bit more, but ultimately, mate, James is not considerably better than Caicedo in really any of the attributes for that role. He just isn't. So for me, mate, that's something I'd like to see us do going forward. Obviously, with Lavia, we don't know. I mean, he's not going to play Thursday. He's not in the squad. He'll probably play again Sunday. It's just about being really careful with him. But, mate, he's a game changer. He's an absolute difference maker for us. So it was fantastic to see him back, and it was brilliant to see him drop a top performance.
The thing is as well, having Caicedo and Lavia, obviously Caicedo inverting, gives Fernandes a little bit more freedom to push up. He got his assist today. I'm not going to act like it was a worldy pass. It was relatively simple, but an assist is an assist, just like we say a goal's a goal. Do you think that this system, having Lavia, not only does he help us tick? But he also gets the best out of other players like Fernandes, gives a little bit more creative edge.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it allows them to get a little bit higher up the pitch. Don't have to worry about defensive responsibilities as much. Obviously, still got to get back and help, but it's not as crucial. And it means that, with Lavia and Caicedo alongside each other there, it works. It works much better. It works much better. So yeah, I think it's good for us. I think it's good for us, mate. If we can play that more weeks than not, it is going to suit us well. It's going to suit us well.
Charlie, see, this is what I'm talking about. What is going on here? You can't prioritise the pub over the fan cams, Matt.
Mate, I just fucking want to get a few beers in.
I will join you for one after. I will join you for
I'm
one.
going to go to the Goose and to the Bar and Grill. But mate, Sanchez played fucking well. What about that then, son?
You think? He's not changed anyone's mind.
He's not changed anyone's mind. No, we're not keeping him. No, we're not keeping him or anything. No, but he's done well.
If we fucking dare have that fucking next season, I swear.
Monetisation gone.
I swear, I might beep it out then. I swear my mum's like, I will fucking be here with a fucking protest sign with all them other fucking twats for the other fucking month, mate. I swear to you. But we ain't going to have that. We're going to have fucking... We're going to go for that.
We're going to have
we're going to Petrovic and we're going to go for the Dortmund keeper.
Yeah, we'll have him as well, yeah.
We'll have Dortmund keeper.
You actually think we're going to do that?
No, I don't
we fucking have to. We got 10 keepers and none of them are good enough. If not, let's give Lucas Bergstrom a run for his money then.
Yeah.
Lucas Bergstrom's next.
Go on then, mate.
And then you.
Yeah, mate, I'll give it a better go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But Sanchez, fair play to him. He was good today. He made a couple of decent saves when we needed him to. So he defended reasonably well. Yeah, mate, game sort of went exactly as I expected, really.
Yeah, I think. I agree with what you said. Let me ask you this: do you feel satisfied after what you've watched? Because I spoke to a gentleman not long ago. What was his name? The gentleman I spoke with. No. That was the one you spoke with.
I don't matter.
I spoke with an older fan who still wasn't satisfied, and he still isn't happy even after the result today. Like, do you feel like there's a? I feel a more positive atmosphere around the bridge, but I do still feel there's a mixture of fans who are still not really enjoying the experience.
Yeah, mate, and I think, to be honest, a lot of it, I think, is the older generation.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, no, I am, and that's entirely their right. But a lot of it is the older generation. I'm not saying that, oh my God, that's all singing and dancing. That was unbelievable today. But we've played reasonably well, better than we have done in recent weeks. We've picked up 3 points, and that's all that matters at this stage of the season when we're going for that Champions League, and we pretty much need to keep winning every single week. So I don't leave here today and think, oh, I'm disappointed with that. I'm not satisfied. We won. That's the most important thing. If this was early doors in the season, then that's got a bit more credence, not being satisfied. But right now, mate, we need to win the games. We've won the last couple of games. Why are we still moaning? Now is not the time for moaning.
So you think the fans need to appreciate what they're seeing, or just be satisfied?
I'm not saying they need to appreciate what they're seeing, because that's entirely up to the individual fan if they want to. If they feel that they're satisfied with what they've seen. But all I'm saying is, now is not the time for moaning about performances. Now is the time to get behind the team, support the team, and get ourselves over the line. And then you can talk about that all you want in the summer. You can talk about all you want about that at the start of next season. For me, I think it's an older generation thing, which is fine. If they
why do you think it's older fans? Because I agree with you. It definitely is older fans. But why is it that, if people in their 20s, even some people in their 30s, are much more relaxed about this than, let's just say, fans who are 50 or 60?
Maybe they're just grumpy. I don't know. Maybe they're just grumpy in their older years. I don't know, mate. But it has got anything to do with... It's a generation thing. It absolutely is. I'm not saying there's no fans our age that are dissatisfied, but it's 100% an older generation thing.
Let us know as well in the comments how. I mean, I'm not going to say it's rude to ask someone how old they are, but how old are you, and are you happy? Let's see what the comments are saying.
I mean, yeah, why not?
And also a little predictor how old Charlie is.
Well, I mean, is that interesting? Do people want to know that? Maybe they do. We're going to have a predictor. We're going to run a poll, yeah. Mate, there's no Enzo on the sidelines today either.
I know. I couldn't even tell the difference till about 20 minutes.
I was saying to Darvish, but I couldn't. I was like, I only just realised they look exactly the same.
I know.
It's just a bald geezer with a beard. And it's just there we go. But I don't know if that was important to win without him on the touch. I don't really think that makes much difference. He's still making all the decisions and that. So, Yeah.
He was in the stands watching there. I think ultimately a result is a result, as you said. What would you change on Thursday? Would you rotate heavily, or would you take that game really seriously as well?
We've got Liverpool on Sunday. Thursday's tricky because obviously it's the away leg. It's it's an artificial pitch. It's like AstroTurf, 3G, 4G, whatever you want to call it. It's got the potential to be a banana skin. I wouldn't go full strength. I'd make a few changes. Probably see a Dewsbury Hall start, so maybe see a Tyreek George start. You might see a Tosin or a Badia Shield come in. You might see an Action Pong. You might see James start that game. Don't want to take the complete piss though, because you want to make sure that when you come to this second leg, that the job's pretty much done, like it was against Legia, even though we played a strong team there. Because because of the Thursday of the second leg, we then play Newcastle away on the Sunday, which is a fucking massive game. So you want to be able to rest as many as you can for that second leg. So I'd be inclined to go pretty strong for that first leg.
And then you go a little bit weaker, but obviously you hope that we're better than we were against Warsaw.
Yeah, and providing the job's done as well. But in theory, that's the idea for sure.
And then how do you actually see things going in the Premier League? And is this the lineup to try and stick with until the end of the season? Because we know that having Lavia does get more out of players like Fernandes, and you can obviously play Caicedo inverting as well.
Mate, I wouldn't have any issues with that. I'd be well up for that. I think that's going to give us the best chance of getting the results that we need. So, yeah, I would stick with that. I don't see any reasons to change it, providing Lavia can stay fit. So, yeah, that for me is going to give us the best chance of getting the results that we need.
Talk to me about Cole Palmer and Jackson, the front line. I personally was surprised to see Madueke on the left. I thought he'd done a good job, though.
He looked dangerous, yeah. He looked dangerous.
But not so much with Palmer. For me, a player who's just not really in the positions to actually make things happen.
Yeah, it's difficult for him at the moment. On the one hand, I'm like, it's good that we can get results without him playing well. It's good that, like, not everything needs to go for him, and that's a good thing. But, yeah, this is long now. This is, 17 Premier League games he's not scored for now?
It's been that long?
Yeah, he hasn't scored since January against Bournemouth in a 2-2 draw here. Look, I think it's a little bit of it will be mental, but a lot of it's tactical as well. You know, we see how deep he is dropping to get the ball. We're not really getting on the ball in the right positions. And, yeah, he's just never been as ineffective in this team as he is right now. So look, we're getting results and we're winning, but it's a wider issue. It is a problem. Let's not pretend that it's not, because it is an issue.
So you think Maresca's wrong saying it's mental? It is tactical.
I'm not wrong. He's not wrong saying it's mental. He's wrong saying it's not tactical at all.
Yeah.
It's definitely tactical, and there's probably also a bit of a mental aspect to it as well on Palmer's regard. But for Jackson, really important to get that goal. You could see from his celebrations what it meant to him. Do you know he's the first striker to score back-to-back 10 goals in back-to-back seasons for Chelsea since Costa?
Wow.
Yeah.
I think Tammy did have a good season, but then he just left straight after. He wasn't in the squad next year.
Didn't get 10 goals. Yeah, Jackson, good strike from it. First goal he scored outside the box in his career.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't too dissimilar to the goal Tyreek George scored against Fulham.
It was a very good goal, decent finish. So I'm pleased with him, needed that for his confidence. I felt he'd done okay. Some of his hold-up play wasn't the best, but Branthwaite gave him a decent game. Just on Branthwaite, by the way, if we don't get Huijsen, Branthwaite's someone that we're potentially going to look at. If the price is right, I wouldn't be against going for him either. I thought he had a very good game.
It's true, mate. Thanks so much, buddy.
All good.